Moses Itauma versus Filip Hrgovic. On the surface, you could look at this as the young, explosive heavyweight against the older, more experienced man. But tactically, I think this fight is much more interesting than that, because Hrgovic presents Itauma with problems that he simply hasn't had to solve yet as a professional. And at the same time, Hrgovic has defensive habits that could play directly into the hands of one of the quickest and most explosive punchers in the heavyweight. Get the record. Let's look at the actual styles. This is the fight blueprint for Moses Itauma versus Filip Hrgovic. The Moses Itauma problem. The first thing that jumps out with Moses Itauma isn't actually his power, it's his speed. Heavyweights aren't supposed to move and punch this quickly. He's a southpaw, and from that stance, he's constantly looking to establish his lead right hand and create the angle for the straight left. But watch his feet. Itauma doesn't necessarily need to constantly bounce around the ring. A lot of his work comes from small adjustments. He'll move slightly outside the opponent's lead foot, change the angle, and suddenly that backhand has a completely different pathway towards the top, because the punches are not just hard. They're punches opponents often don't see coming. Look at the Jermaine Franklin fight. Franklin had never previously been stopped, but Itauma didn't just rush him looking for a knockout. He gradually broke him down. He used the jab, he feinted, he attacked the body, he changed levels, and eventually those openings started appearing. Then came the uppercut in round 5. Fight over. That performance was important because it showed us something beyond the early knockout. Itauma can actually construct an attack, and against Hrgovic, he's going to need to. Hrgovic's biggest weapon. Now, this is where the fight becomes interesting, because Filip Hrgovic is not going to stand there and simply admire Itauma's speed. He's 6'6", experienced, physically strong, and he's been operating around the world level for years. And Hrgovic has something that nobody can teach Moses Itauma overnight. Rounds, hard rounds, messy rounds, uncomfortable rounds. He's been in there with Daniel Dubois. He's fought Zhilei Zhang. He's fought Joe Joyce. He's been forced to operate when tired, when under pressure, and when things aren't necessarily going according to plan. That's significant because Itauma has only completed 31 professional rounds. Hrgovic has completed more than 100. So Hrgovic's biggest advantage might not be one particular punch. It might simply be his ability to make this fight uncomfortable. If I'm Hrgovic, I don't want a clean technical boxing match at Itauma's preferred distance. I want contact, I want clinches, I want physical exchanges, I want Moses carrying my weight, and most importantly, I want rounds. Because every round that Hrgovic survives potentially takes Itauma somewhere he hasn't been before. But Hrgovic has a problem. His defense can become extremely upright, and when he's exchanging punches, his head can remain available on the center line. We've seen fighters land clean combinations on him because Hrgovic sometimes trusts his durability enough to stay in the pocket. Against Itauma, that is dangerous. Because Moses doesn't always throw one punch at a time, he can put combinations together very quickly for a heavyweight. So I would expect Itauma to attack Hrgovic on multiple levels. Jab upstairs, straight left downstairs, feint to the body, come back upstairs. And one punch I'll particularly watch is the uppercut. Hrgovic's upright posture and tendency to hold his ground could leave that channel open. But Moses cannot become obsessed with finding a knockout, because Hrgovic has shown throughout his career that he's extremely difficult to discourage. You might hit him, you might hurt him, but that doesn't necessarily mean he's going anywhere, and that could become a psychological test for Itauma. The battle of the lead hands. There's another small tactical battle that could become extremely important. Southpaw versus Orthodox. Itauma's lead right hand against Hrgovic's lead left. Whoever controls that battle can start controlling the distance. For Moses, that lead hand can blind Hrgovic and create the opening for the straight left. For Hrgovic, the jab needs to interrupt Itauma before Moses gets into rhythm. And I wouldn't jab at Itauma's head. Jab his chest, jab his shoulder. Give him something that stops the forward movement, because trying to constantly find the head of a faster fighter can become frustrating. Sometimes you just need to put something in his path. The blueprint to victory. So what does victory look like for both men? For Itauma, I think it's about discipline. Don't chase Hrgovic. Don't try to prove how powerful you are. Use the speed advantage. Make Hrgovic turn. Attack the body. Create the openings and allow the knockout to come naturally. And most importantly, don't stay in the pocket unnecessarily after you finish punching. Hit Hrgovic and make him reset. For Hrgovic, almost the opposite. Slow everything down. Make the fight physical. Take away Itauma's rhythm. Use your size, use your experience, and drag him into the second half of the fight. Because if Hrgovic can get this fight deep, suddenly we're entering completely unknown territory for Moses Itauma. And that's why I find these fights so fascinating. We know Itauma has the speed, we know he has the power, we know he has the timing, and we're beginning to see just how intelligent he is offensively. But Hrgovic represents something different. Experience, durability, size, and adversity. This isn't just about whether Moses Itauma can beat Filip Hrgovic. It's about whether he can solve the problems Hrgovic is capable of creating. If Itauma dominates him, then the conversation around Moses changes completely. Because he won't just be one of the best young heavyweights in boxing anymore. He'll be a heavyweight world champion. But if Hrgovic can survive the early danger and take Moses somewhere he's never been before, then we might finally find out exactly what Moses Itauma is made of.
I feel like boxing for me, it's like a puzzle. And I believe with the right preparation, I don't think that there's a puzzle I can't solve.
Thank you for watching the Fight Blueprint. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to like. And if you're new to the channel, go ahead and subscribe. Also, don't forget to hit the notification bell so you never miss out on videos like this in the future. I'll see you again with another Fight Blueprint. Until then, take care, my people. Peace.